And then we're talking about Ja Morant again. All right. He makes a finger gesture, got a warning for it. He didn't even get fined or anything, no penalty. They're just like, hey, don't do it again. And then what does he do the very next game?
Hey, shooters gotta shoot. Shoot! It's up! That's all I gotta say. Shooters gotta shoot, baby.
Shoot or shoot. And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Couch Potatoes. I'm your host, Jay Cubs, joined by Feisty and Philly Seim today. And we got the NBA Roundup we're going to pop off with. But before we get into basketball, I wanted to talk about something fucking awesome, something historic in hockey. Alex Ovechkin just scored his 894th goal, which ties him with Wayne Gretzky for the most all-time. And I believe his puck drop is in a couple hours where he probably will break it today. Wow. Who would have thought someone would tie Wayne or beat Wayne Gretzky for that matter?
I mean, I'm not a big hockey fan, but anytime a record's blown, he deserves one of these, man.
There we go. Got the sounds back. Nice.
What is going on, bro?
Oh, Si's going to have fun learning all these.
Whoa. No, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, he's been a good player for a long time. You know, hockey is its different beast. You know, being on skates, you can play into your 40s, and it has been done over and over again. Yep, pretty cool stuff.
Yep. All right, let's hop into basketball. Let's talk about the Final Four before we get into the NBA. It just happened yesterday. Florida came back from a big deficit against Auburn and advances to the championship game, man. They look like the team to beat. A lot of people, a lot of experts have been picking them, and they have shown no doubt this run. And Walter Clayton Jr. leading the way for him. He became the first player with back-to-back 30-point games since Larry Bird in, I think, like 1979. So he's having a run, and so is Florida. They look strong.
Dude, you know what's insane is I was just talking about this with Brian last night. That dude's looking like he's going to be the next Steph Curry. I mean, man just shoots lights out, and Florida wanted this so badly. Auburn, man, we'll have to get to the next game, but this game didn't piss me off as much because I had nothing really on the line. But Florida just wanted this badly, and they found ways to win it every single game, whether it was the last minute shot or it was you were down by freaking big freaking points. It didn't matter. They're ready and they're here, and they might have a pretty good chance. Like you said, everybody's picking Florida to win it. I don't care anymore who wins it, so yeah, is what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was impressive. They made a run to get back into the game, and I was just kind of watching it on and off, but I did watch the last 10 minutes. And they made the run, and, you know, a lot of times when the teams make a run like that, then the other team, you know, the NBA, I mean, the other team bounces back. You know, you got like one run in you, you know, you catch up, but, you know, a lot of times the team you made the run on will then have their momentum. But, man, it didn't happen, man. That team's loaded, man. That team is freaking loaded.
Yes, they are.
You know, that was pretty good stuff last night. And the intensity was great. It makes me look forward to the NBA playoffs where the intensity is kind of up again. So that was good stuff.
Hell yeah.
That was good stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
Feisty, I can hardly see you, man. You're dark as shit.
Dude, I'm trying to get my...
Hey.
Hey, there's no comments for that, bro. I'm trying to get my...
There we go. My guy.
You don't need to bring race into this, man.
Hey, race in it. You just brought race into it.
All right, back to basketball. Let's talk about Duke and Houston. Do you have a light on in there?
Yeah. Maybe let me turn off the light.
Don't turn it off. You don't turn it off. You disappeared.
Oh, man.
All I can see is a green floating hat.
Yeah, here we go. That's exactly what I expect from him, though, man.
That's weird. All right. Well, if you can't see Feisty this episode, we apologize.
Yeah.
All right, Duke, Houston. Man, Duke looked strong from the get-go. They were up 6 at half, I believe, but it kind of even felt like more. They were owning the game. Houston didn't have a lot of offense, but that defense, it came to play. And just like everybody's talking about, they were some dogs, man. But Duke was still killing it. They were up 14 in the second half, looked like game over. And then I think Houston went on a couple of runs. They went on like a 10-0 run at one point, get back into it. And then they ended the game on an 11-1 run where I'd never seen it. I mean, when I ref basketball in like some mismatched teams where they'll full court press and the other team just doesn't know what to do. That's what freaking Duke looked like. That was insane. I mean, it's like they hadn't practiced full court press in their entire time. I mean, they were just like standing there hoping to get open, and Houston put the fucking clamps on them and came back. I mean, yeah, they were up like 8 or 9 or
10
something
points,
with
yeah.
like 2-3 minutes left and just shit the bed. Epic meltdown. Cooper Flag has a chance to win and misses the go-ahead bucket short, and Houston prevails, beating Duke to advance to play Florida in the championship. I was definitely rooting for Duke this whole time. I've been kind of, obviously we talked about Cooper Flag and how much Jazz fans want him, and so I kind of have been rooting with him, and that was kind of a heartbreaker almost. But I don't know, that was an epic collapse. I haven't seen much like that since I've been really getting into it. What did you guys think of that game?
Yeah, that was the dumbest shit that I've ever seen, man. Especially when you're up by 9 points with basically 5 minutes to go. All you got to do is defend. Man, I am dark as shit. Sorry. Anyways.
Now we can't focus.
Anyways, this game pissed me off because I've been I picked Duke to win this whole thing, and it they fell off, man. They definitely fell off. I think that they didn't know what to do when the game was at the end of it. That last 5 minutes, they could not get an offense going. They could not get a defense stop, and all they were already in the bonus. So all the Houston needed to do was get fouls, and that's what they really did too. And then this Cooper Flag thing, man, that you should know. You should always have a plan B. Every team knows you're gonna give when it's the crunch time.
Mhm.
You're gonna give the ball to your star players, and you're gonna hope that he makes a play and that he does what he needs to do to get you the win. But they needed a plan B. Nobody set a screen for Cooper. Like it was just Cooper take it down. Back him up, back him up. Couldn't really do anything with it. Dribble, dribble, and then he did a freaking fadeaway shot, and it's like the way it ended, and then that stupid foul. How was that a foul? Like the rebound, like that made no sense to me. That was not a
Weak ass
foul.
call.
That was some BS call that they did not want Duke to win. Yeah, I was frustrated at this game more than anything else because I really wanted Duke to win it, and Duke should win it. Like this is the team that chokes every year, and that trend kind of continues going. So now, like Seim said, go ahead and take this one, Seim. Does he come back?
Yeah, man. Oh, wow. He's coming out, man. He's coming out. It's too much money out there. I mean, you got to come out. Too much risk. It's just the way that it is right now. And I'm looking forward to the. I'm looking forward to the draft. That's for sure. But just
Dude,
to
watch
see
you guys fucking get him, man. You're gonna randomly get him.
we
That
only
would be
have
like the
2%
worst
chance,
place for him to
bro.
go. I feel like too.
We only have 2% less chance than you. That's all
I
I'm
know.
saying. Anybody can get them. Anybody can get them, and it may fall that way. If it does, I'll kind of feel guilty for a second or two.
Hey, though, I wouldn't feel guilty at all. That's a good combo, dude. If Embiid does this surgery that he's just gonna be doing, sorry to jump ahead, but like
Yeah,
him and Cooper could be a nasty duo. But
yeah.
forget about the Jazz, forget about Philly, forget about the Wizards. He might be a perfect fit for the Hornets, dude. Him and LaMelo, that's cooking some, bro. That is cooking some because you got a big man who can shoot, literally do anything like Jokic. You got LaMelo, who's freakishly talented with the ball, like passing, shooting, drip. Like it doesn't matter. I think that might be a just say for career wise. I'm gonna put it out there. I think he might be a better suited for the Hornets, but I think there might be some conspiracy going around that this is a setup for him to go to the Jazz. Just anyway, so
Fucking better be, man. They did it with Braun in Cleveland. They got to do it with Cooper in Utah.
or as San Antonio with freaking Alien
Wemby.
Man.
Before we move along, though, get into NBA, did you have any thoughts on the game, Simon? Or you
I
ready to
just
go?
like seeing. I mean, it happens, right? I mean, these are college kids, man. These are college kids, man. These guys haven't been playing 10 years in the NBA, and that is an enormous amount of pressure. So, I don't read too much into that, but it is exciting to have Houston in there. My God, my whole life they haven't been in there. Isn't that amazing?
They're a
That
bunch of dogs, dude. I was
they're
hearing
building a
too.
program, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just crazy to have some new faces in there, and I'm I'm gonna watch. I'll be
Yeah.
glued to it. I can't wait to see it, man. It's gonna be fun, man. You kidding me? It's gonna be awesome.
Two completely different teams, two
My
different
God,
styles. Like,
yeah.
it's going to be a game.
It actually has more intrigue to me than if it was Duke, Florida. I'll be honest with you. I've been watching Duke in the final my whole life. You
Right.
know, this is fun, man.
All right, let's transition into the NBA. Let's start with some Hall of Fame announcements. Headlining the Hall of Fame is Carmelo Anthony. Awesome for him, man. What a dog. I mean, growing up watching him with the Nuggets and then the Knicks run that he had. I mean, dude was box office, just a bucket getter, like one of the original bucket getters. That was all he did. You know what I mean? That's all he needed to do. I remember that one game he had 62 points, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks. He literally just had points. So he gets into the Hall of Fame, as well as Dwight Howard is into the Hall of Fame. And I saw they also inducted like the entire 2008 men's Olympic team, which I didn't know you could do that. But yeah, awesome for those guys to get into the Hall of Fame. I think deserving for both of them.
I mean, Carmelo Anthony, besides him and his freaking PG and Westbrook times in OKC, I've loved Carmelo Anthony, man. Like you said, he's a walking bucket. I mean, back in the day too, with him and Iverson, like being the duo and stuff. Like Carmelo
He played
Anthony.
with AI in
No,
No,
Denver.
he didn't
I don't
play
know
with
what he's
him, but I'm
talking
just
about.
saying. Like I played with them in 2K.
Uh,
I mean that was like my thing is I needed a
I
shooter
got
all
you.
the time and Carmelo
You
Anthony, yeah, I
You
know.
just brought your video game. You're mixing
just slipped it right in
you're mixing
there.
reality versus your fantasy world together. It crept over into real life.
Dude, Carmelo Anthony is a walking bucket, man, and I would always have him. And you could do like an all-time Nuggets or something like that. And so, I mean, he just is a walking bucket. And now that he has kids too, I think it's kind of exciting to see what they're going to be able to do. They have some big shoes to fill. I think this is a huge and quick turnaround. Especially even Dwight Howard, dude. Dwight Howard will always be known for as the Superman, right? Like that dunk contest, things that he was able to do. He was a great defender as, anybody else. He just didn't always have the success. I think he has a ring or two maybe because he bounced around so much. I know he has one with the Lakers. So like this guy, he deserves it when he was playing, and now he's freaking doing whatever overseas. But I like it. I think that these two guys definitely deserve it, and I think anybody else really that Hall of Fame is a big thing. You have to qualify for it. There are certain things that you have to do to qualify for it, and these both are just some greats of all time. And that's our generation watching these guys play at that time. I I don't have a problem with it. I think it might. Can you say it's too soon though? Like, there's still some great players that need to, get that opportunity and chance. I don't know, but it is a crazy turnaround time that I don't remember what year that they both retired, but like I don't think it's been that long. So anyway, Carmelo Anthony's a walking bucket, and I'm excited to see what his generation, his kids will do, whether it's in the college or NBA. And I think they both just committed to Syracuse. So just cool.
Yeah, I mean, Carmelo's no surprise. Dwight Howard's a little bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Number one, he's still talking about thinking he wants to get back in the league,
Right.
which is interesting.
He just wants a ring.
And yeah, I mean, he just couldn't score. He wasn't a scorer. Never developed that part of his game. I mean, not everybody can develop that part of their game. I'm not saying it's I'm not saying he didn't work hard enough or whatever, but he never developed that part of his game.
Yeah.
Um, and then once the athleticism went down, he scored even less. But I mean, yeah, they're both good players. Obviously, Carmelo Anthony needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's just a
Yeah.
great shooter.
Yeah.
Great shooter. I remember watching him in college at Syracuse, and it was back east. Syracuse is one of the teams we root for. We don't got a lot of, I mean, everything's kind of disappeared after Philadelphia basketball went downhill, and college wise, Syracuse is one of the teams that still gets some play out in this area. So, yeah, him and Jim Boeheim winning a bunch of titles. That was Title Town, man. He probably won maybe 5 titles there. So not thing. I mean, you'd fact check me on that, but was a great program.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the the worst program in the NBA. That's the Utah Jazz. Still sitting at the worst record. I think we might have like a game and a half lead in last place over the Washington Wizards right now.
Wait.
Uh,
Say that again. A game and a half lead in the worst record.
Oh man.
Yes, sir. We're tanking hard. We're tanking well, man. It's been impressive to watch this season. We talked about it last week with Shawnee Boy. It's the first time the Jazz have ever had 60 losses in a season, and we've already clinched our worst record of all time with like 6-7 games left to go. So, and since we last talked, we lost to the Rockets. Dylan Brooks did his thing, kicked Sexton in the nuts, got a 16 tech and a 1-game suspension. And then also Lowry, it's tough. He's going to be reevaluated in 7 to 10 days, which is the end of the season.
Yeah.
Which is what we're seeing for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people have just shut down their star players, but the Jazz got to be careful since we got that fine already. And then Sean's least favorite player possibly of all time, Cody Williams, aka the moron he calls him, is done for the year. Sad news. He's got diagnosed with mono, so he's going to be out. And yeah, and then we also lost to the Pacers, so we're continuing to do our thing. 1-9 in the last 10, and like I said, sitting in the bottom of the conference.
He doesn't. Your fiance love Dylan Brooks?
Oh, she loves Dylan Brooks. Yep,
she loves Dylan.
Her
Brooks.
favorite.
That guy's a total idiot. 2.0 donkey. Freaking Draymond Green idiot.
I know you were jealous of him. You see him playing defense on Braun the other day. I know you were jealous.
Yeah.
You wanted to be him.
Dylan Brooks just makes everybody pissed, man. Since he came out of Oregon, he's just been one of those players that he's going to cause trouble. We talked about this a long time ago. We know Joe Ingles will always try to get in your head, but Joe Ingles does it in a different way, right? Dylan Brooks will try to get in your head and also through your body by freaking fouling the shiz out of you, doing whatever. So I'm not surprised that he has 16 techs. I'm surprised how low it is. But yeah, here we go again at the end of the season where teams are going to be doing the whole he's injured type of shiz, and they're going to be sitting their star players because they don't want anything to happen. This is the stuff that I don't like as a fan, because imagine saving up to buy tickets, and you want to go see your team play the last final game, and all their star players are sitting. I mean, Seim's used to this, right? Like, all of his star players have been sitting since the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But like, realistically though, like, it just sucks, man. And 7 to 10 days, yeah, that's the end of the season. Thank you. And then that stuff like this kind of pissed me off, and so we'll have to see. Is this all made up for the Jazz to get Cooper? Well, I don't know. People are saying it's a conspiracy for it.
Yeah.
So, but Cody Williams, he doesn't like Cody Williams.
He hates Cody Williams.
Really?
Yeah, he hasn't been good. Our other 2 rookies that we drafted last year, Collier and Filipowski, they've been pretty impressive, and we picked Cody Williams before any of them. Can't remember. He was like the 7th, 8th pick. I can't remember what we had, and yeah, he just hasn't turned out well.
Yeah.
So a lot of Jazz fans don't like him.
Well, we'll take him.
Okay.
I had a couple things, man. I mean, I wonder if the NBA is gonna make some adjustments next year with all this, because man, there's the amount of teams that are kind of racing to the bottom right now. It's significant. I mean, you've almost got 6 teams that are racing to the bottom. 6 teams. That's crazy. And some of the teams are not bad. Like Philly is not that bad of a team. The Paul George thing is just complete BS. He could be out there right now. And obviously the Maxey thing is complete BS.
Mm-hmm.
With those two on the floor right now with Grimes, we're actually a borderline, like,
Playing
close
team.
to a bottom of the playoff team.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. If we get the number one pick, that's freaking ridiculous. Talk about a scam. I mean, that is a huge scam. Because if you take like Washington's the worst team in the league, right? Even when they were trying to win, they could not win.
Yeah.
Right? They could not. And then y'all are not the worst. You are not the worst.
Very clearly trying to lose.
My God. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the NBA does. Probably nothing, of course, which is what they do. But it'll be interesting to note. I can't get that picture, by the way, of LeBron on the floor the other night. What was that about, man?
Dude, he is the fucking.
Guys, that guy almost murdered him. Were you ready to take a bullet?
Dude, I
For
was about
LeBron
to jump.
after that mess, dude. That is so ridiculous.
Dude, I was about to jump through the TV and make sure
He
he's
must have been mad. Yeah, you were scared. I bet you were
I
worried.
was like, no, not Daddy Brown. No, dude, but like realistically, like all joking aside, you like what are they gonna do, right? Like they have tried to find teams on these freaking sitting out, like freaking saying that they're
Yeah.
injured, like. But realistically, that doesn't do jack shiz. Like they're like we're willing to pay to make sure. Like for example, LeBron James. LeBron James does not give two shits about records when it comes to season play. All he cares about is getting into the playoffs. Once he
Yeah.
gets the playoffs, he literally will do. How many times have we tried to go see him when he's come down to go play with the Jazz, right? Like I don't think I've actually realistically seen LeBron James play here once, like that we've tried to get tickets for. And I think we've done it like 3 or 4 times now. So like
Mhm.
it is so frustrating because I love LeBron James and I want to see LeBron James, right? And so like fans like me, that's frustrating because you don't get that opportunity. So like what is the NBA going to do? You can't just keep finding these like teams. You should make them have to suspend players. Like if you're realistically doing these things,
They're not allowed to play when they're not trying to play, anyways.
no, but like
Yeah.
in the playoffs. So like when those games matter, you want your players, right? Like, okay, if you can prove that this
You're
player,
talking about competitive teams.
yeah,
Gotcha.
could play, then
How about you take away draft picks next year, man?
or even that, yeah.
That's what I would do. I mean, that's the worst thing that you could do to a team. Is you take away draft picks.
Hey, I got
Something,
no problem with it, man. I got no problem with it this season, selfishly.
I get it, man. Of course, man.
That tankathon was so fun.
Bro, your team can just your team can just be in a bad situation, and it's the only way out. This is, a lot of teams see this as the only way out and you do have to admit it. Just step back for a second, right? The NBA wants their product to be successful across the country, right? It's in their best interest, right? For a team like Utah or Washington to be competitive, right? It is. I mean, it's just it expands the product's baseline fandom or whatever, right?
Sure.
So is the NBA really that upset if good players go to teams and it creates more of a parity in the league? I mean, you could argue that it can be a good thing to rescue a franchise that is that's struggling or whatever. So how much do they want to stop it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the Wemby thing too, right? Like many people are saying that was even set up for him to go to San Antonio. He could have went, they could have really picked anywhere else. And like LeBron was talking about that too, actually, in the podcast that when he went with on your favorite boy, and he was talking about how that 2003 or 2006 draft picks were like rigged, so that it's 2003. Sorry, I should know this. Come on now, 2003 draft, he said it was super rigged for Cleveland for LeBron to stay in Cleveland. So I don't know, man. I I see what you're saying there, and I think you are you're onto something because it makes sense to me, especially where they're going globally now too, like trying to get players from other countries to expand that exposure, like Jokic. Like you see some of these players, European players, and so they're some of the best players we've ever seen come through this game. And there's talks of expanding so that we can go in and play against these European teams that they have. But either way,
Yeah.
man, I just feel like NBA is kind of soft when it comes to stuff like this to limit that injury end of the season crap.
Yeah. How about a player can veto? I mean, it's happened in the NFL before. How about if a player can veto your franchise? I know that opens up a whole can of worms. I get it. But what if you had a loophole in there that said, hey, at the first pick of the draft, not the second pick, third? I mean, because that would set a precedent for any player to do it. Um, but whatever, man. I want Cooper Flag. That's all I'm saying.
Everybody does, man. Everybody
Yeah.
does, and that's why we're losing hard. And we lost to the Pacers the other day. It was a little scary. We were competitive through 3 quarters, and then we only scored 18 points in the fourth quarter against them. So you can also tell that we're trying to lose there. But let's switch up to the top of the league. Your Thunder, Feisty, they've been hot, hot, hot as of late. They beat Detroit since we last talked for their 11th straight win. And then there was actually a loss in there. They did lose to the Houston Rockets, the second seed in the Western Conference, and making 70 wins impossible now. You guys were on track if you won out, but now you can only get 69. Nice. But yeah, what do you? We talked a lot about the Thunder last time with Shawnee Boy, but what have you been seeing? What you like about them, and are you confident in them going into the playoffs?
Dude, I just feel like sometimes we play teams and kill them, right? Like we
Mhm.
played the Bulls, we killed them. We killed the Pacers.
God,
We
dude, you
also
have I'm looking at it. You have a 13.1 point differential
yeah.
on the season. That's insane.
Yeah, so realistically, we should be able to. So we play Lakers back to back. Basically, we play the Rockets again.
Yeah, who are you going for today? You got Daddy Braun versus your Thunder.
Let's not talk about it.
No, let's talk about it.
Of course, I'm going for my Thunder, bro. LeBron, like I said, LeBron doesn't care, bro. LeBron is already in the third seed. He doesn't care. Like
Yeah, but they're
realistically,
only half a game on 4, 1 on 5,
yeah,
2 on 6. Anything
those
could happen.
matchups are gonna be nuts, dude. If we can get a Nuggets versus the Warriors at the 4 and 5, my
What about
gosh,
Lakers Warriors, man? 4
Yeah,
and
if
5.
the Lakers play the Thunder, well, your brain, like, I'm serious. It's not a joke. In the playoffs, will your brain explode? Like, what do you want?
He wants the 5th title for Daddy Braun,
dude.
huh?
What do you want,
Dude,
Vice?
you know what I would think would happen? I would want to happen. I would want LeBron to win it, right? I would want LeBron to obviously win it. And then the Thunder, because the Suns are thinking about trading Kevin Durant away, because so they can start a whole rebuild. We got plenty of draft picks, bro. As much as I hate to say that, that's the key piece that we would need to push us to that top, right? Like I feel like we could realistically, I think we'll make it to the first round. Whoever we play in the first round, we'll beat them. I think that we can make it to the second round, but that conference finals, I just don't know, man. I don't know if we have if we're playing against the Nuggets, if we're playing against the Warriors in that conference final, I just don't know if we have enough to push us through because
Wait, excuse my ignorance here. I'm being totally honest. When you're saying
the
maybe I'm just
Thunder.
old. I'm not. Okay, we're talking about the
Yeah,
Thunder.
yeah, the
Okay, all
Thunder.
right, all right.
Sorry,
We're talking
not
about the Thunder.
oh, not the Warriors. No, no. So I feel like the Thunder could obviously they can make it to the conference final. I just don't know if they have enough
Yeah,
to get them to the NBA finals and
I'll
win it
tell you,
all.
Vegas thinks they do, man. They're the best odds out there right now. This team has not taken its foot off the gas
Which
yet, man.
adds
And I love that
yeah.
about this team. I love it. This team is It has that old flavor. And even like the last team that did this was the Warriors when they were
Mhm.
chasing wins and the title. And they went in and they were, I think they won like 72 games that year, 71 games,
73,
73.
73
73 and
games.
9.
And they went in and they were firing, dude. And that was awesome.
Was that
This,
the year
Who
that
did
they
they
had?
lose?
oh, I know.
Hey,
Hey,
who did they lose to,
no, you're
Feisty,
right.
in the
Okay, but
finals?
is that the one that they had? They didn't have Durant yet, right? That's the year after that Durant went.
That was before, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So 73 and 9 before Durant, and Daddy Braun came back from 3-1
Yeah,
to
that was
beat him.
incredible. I'll give him that one. That was
LeBron
incredible.
for the block. Yeah,
But this
baby.
team, I'm telling you, man, this Thunder team is exciting.
Dude,
They
They're
are
deep, dude.
exciting.
I just don't know if they that's my thing is they're so young, and so that's why they're able to continue to do this. Like that we should have definitely have not lost. Our winning streak should be at 12. But that's the to show, man. They play really well together. I've said this over and over again as a team. But the biggest issue is I just don't know if they have, besides Shay Shay, they don't have a legitimate scorer. Everybody does their part to contribute. So I think it will
Chet's good,
work.
man, and Jalen Williams
No different formula
can fill it
there.
up, man.
I
You
mean,
guys are deep. I think that you're young still, but
yeah,
I think you had your
Yeah.
experience last season. Sean and I were talking about this last week, where like you had your run. I think you lost in the second round last year. Is that right?
yeah.
And but now you've been there, you've experienced that, and you guys are the deepest team in the league. I mean, 13 and a half game.
I think the Celtics might.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. You're right. You're right.
it's
You're right.
close.
Western Conference,
Right,
maybe.
it's
Western
close,
Conference.
right?
We'll say
It's
that. Yeah.
close, right? It's close.
Yes.
It's close.
13 and a half game lead in the Western Conference
That's
at this point in the
awesome.
season is insane. That is fucking crazy, dude.
And
64 wins.
and
And
to
yeah,
do
they're
it in
not
three
taking their foot off
years,
the gas.
and to do it in
Mm-hmm.
3 years of rebuilding, like that's the crazy part too. I mean, I'm not as shocked about the Thunder as I am shocked about the Rockets, bro.
Yeah, they've just been quietly. They just reached 50 wins and yeah, beat the Thunder. So Sean and I were talking about it last week, and we talked about the Rockets, saying, "Hey, they're a legitimate threat, and nobody's talking about them." And then we got into like our NBA Finals kind of preview, who you're kind of thinking, and he forgot about. He didn't mention the Rockets. I'm like, you discounted them again, and he's like, "Yeah, what? Twice in 1 minute?" But they're that team that just kind of gets forgotten about. Nobody's talking about them. We're talking about the Lakers, Nuggets, Warriors, Thunder, and they're just quietly doing their thing, man. I do want to kind of talk about because it's coming up, and it looks like Shay Shay is gonna win MVP, but Jokic is having his best season ever, and he just continues to impress. He just had a 61-point triple double in a losing effort to the Timberwolves. Most points ever scored in a triple double. And what's funny, because we're talking about, how Shay Shay gets what do they call him, free throw merchant or
Yeah.
whatever. Uh, Jokic had 24 free throw attempts in this game, so he did it a little bit too, man. But what do you guys think? Sean and I are definitely both in the camp of Jokic should win the MVP this season. I think his stats are just insane, and you look at like scoring with him on the floor or just their team, just performance and all. I think some stat like obviously they're with him on the floor they're as successful as they are, but if he were to not be on the floor they would have like 17 wins this season. Like they're the worst team in the NBA without him on the floor.
Yeah.
I think Jokic is in the MVP. I'm not trying to discredit Shea. He's had an amazing season for sure, and I feel like it's just that voter fatigue. It's Shea's turn. I don't know. Watching Jokic do what he's doing, man, I think he should win MVP. I think he is the most valuable player, but I think SGA is going to win it.
I mean, okay, who just won the MVP in the NFL but didn't have the best stat?
Josh Allen.
Exactly. So I feel like stats don't mean jack shiz to people nowadays. Like I feel like it used to mean something. Like that was my biggest argument when we had that heated LeBron versus MJ versus Kobe's thing. I'm looking at stats and he has all the stats, right? So stats I feel like sometimes just don't mean jack shiz to people. And so Lamar should have won it if we're talking stats, right? Different sport or whatnot, but like you could bring up any sport and there's a player who has way more stats than the guy that actually won the MVP. So I don't know, man. I think Jokic definitely does deserve it, but at the same time, I feel like Shea deserves it even more because what he's been able to do with this team. It's the most valuable player of the team and also the league. Who's been the most valuable player in the league? Who's brought the attention to the league? Like we've talked about this so many times where LeBron could have won it, but they gave it to somebody else. And I just feel like this Thunder team and this Shea like team, like he's just doing crazy things that you haven't seen since Westbrook, right? Like those triple double days. That's what won Westbrook because he was bringing so much attention to the NBA because everybody was so invested in him freaking breaking that record. And now Shea is also breaking records. I think he has like I don't remember how many games it is now of like 30 points per like game. Like I think he's closing up on MJ's record, and so I don't know, man. Stats don't always mean not that guy should win it. I just think that Shea is doing what needs to be done to be the most valuable player on the team. Everybody knows Shea is the guy on the team, and they run through him. They do everything through him, and so in my opinion, this is the one where I'm like, it's an easy no brainer not to give it to Shea. And I'm sorry, maybe that's my biased opinion, but like
Hey, you know what we haven't done in a while? Homer.
Yeah. Eh,
Dude,
Honest opinion.
there's no way. Every argument you were just making, that's what I'm saying about Jokic, dude. Like without Jokic on the floor, the Thunder or the Nuggets are fucking terrible. Without SGA on the floor, they're definitely not 64-13. Don't get me wrong, but they might be like a 6-7 seed. I feel like if SGA missed a lot of time now. He's right there, but I
No.
really think it's voter fatigue, man. Jokic is like
No.
you're talking about Jokic, who's had some of the best seasons ever, and now he's having an even better season this year. His plus minus points per game, assists per game. I mean, everything runs through Jokic, dude. That Nuggets team would be fucking nothing with Jokic. Jokic is on an insane run right now. He's already being talked about amongst the they're starting to talk about him amongst the greats of all time. Like top 10 player.
Good for him. Not an
And
MVP though.
you're such a homer, bro.
Yeah. I'm
There's
sorry,
no
bro.
fucking way. There's
I'm,
no way.
I'm sorry, bro. There's
Jokic is
just
the MVP.
I don't know. Simon, chime in on this, bro. Who am I being a clown again, or is this like you just kind of understand that like who has a better record? The Thunder. Like
That plays a lot into it for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's your fault, Fies. I think it's the voting system, man. We don't know what the voters want. That's the problem.
yeah,
In particular in the NBA, it's the NBA is the of the MVPs like take Embiid the other year. Embiid had the stats the other year. They gave it to Jokic that year, and then the very next year, Jokic had the stats, and they gave it to Embiid. They flipped it around. So I don't Feist, I don't blame you for your take on it because the league it's just not done correctly. We how are we supposed to know? That's all I'm saying. How are we
yeah,
supposed to know?
yeah.
Well, it's the same thing, Feist. You've talked about it a lot with like LeBron. LeBron should have more MVPs than he does. You know what I mean? Some of the seasons they didn't give it to him because of what Simon's just saying. That was perfectly put. Like that, yeah, the exact thing. When they should have given it to Embiid, like you said, the one year, but they gave it to
Yeah, that was
Jokic, and
what
then the
I think
next
that
year it's
was
like,
4 years
oh,
ago.
we should have given it to Embiid. So now we'll give it to Embiid this
Yeah,
year because he didn't get one. It's his turn, which is exactly how I feel about SGA
yeah.
this season. It's like, oh, it's his time. It's his turn, which is not how it should be. And like
It's
you made the point too in the NFL fights, like it was Josh Allen's turn to win the MVP, even though Lamar had a better season.
Yeah,
yeah.
In my opinion, it's the same thing.
yeah,
But
It
I know
is,
we
but
were
it's not as
animated.
egregious. It's not as egregious in the NFL. This one that happened this year was a hose job on
Mhm.
Lamar. That was a hose job. We all admit, and that feels more like an NBA hose job that the NBA does. But the NFL has been better, I'd say, in the last 5 years than the NBA. I don't know what the hell the NBA is doing. I don't know.
Yeah. They're both great. At the end of the day, though, they are both great. And let's get back into this game. I was talking about that 61-point triple-double that Jokic had. It was a crazy game. It was against the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves were down 1, and they turned the ball over to who? Your other Daddy Westbrook. And he went down and missed a wide-open layup that he didn't even need to take. They were down. They were up 1 with 17 seconds left. All he has to do is hold on to the ball and get fouled, and he missed a point-blank layup. And then the Timberwolves come down and go down the court, and then Ant, it's kind of that Cooper Flag situation we were talking about. It looks like, it's going to be Ant for the win. Well, he finds Nickeil Alexander-Walker in the corner, who gets fouled by Westbrook with 0.1 seconds left and gives him 3 foul shots, which I think he hit 2 of the 3, which is all he needed to win with 0.1 seconds left. So not a good run for Westbrook there. What the hell was he thinking?
Trying to look. So in that game, he's definitely cooking for the Thunder, or not the Thunder, for the Nuggets, man. Like that game, he had 19 points, and I think he's been consistently hitting like 15 to like 20 points. I don't know what game it was where he had 30 points.
Who is this?
Westbrook.
Oh,
Russell
yeah.
Westbrook.
But like, I'm trying to look at who the 6th man of the year candidates are, but I can't pull that up right now. But I mean, this was just a mistake.
Are you one of Seim's people that sucks?
I mean, this is
Yeah.
This is definitely a mistake by him, and I think this is probably a little bit of ego that came into play. I think that a lot of the people are sometimes some players get in their mindset that they still got it like that.
It was just so fast. Like, it was a turnovers, fast break. He should have made it, but like at the same time, you're a veteran of how many years? You got to have the presence of mind to just pull that back, hold the ball, get fouled. You know what I mean? But yeah. And then, dude, speaking of the Timberwolves, they're one of the hottest teams in the league right now. They are on a 5-game winning streak, 7-3 in their last 10, and they have gotten into the 6th seed, so a guaranteed playoff spot if it were to finish right now. But they're looking a lot better. They've had a slow season, I feel like, to start, but they're getting hot at the right time. Rudy Gobert's kind of finding his stride as well, which is nice to see for former Jazz man. And then they just got new ownership, which we talked about. The Celtics got bought for $6 billion last week, and I think we talked about it a long time ago. There's been this ongoing battle, I guess, with, I don't know, I haven't dive deep into it, but the Timberwolves just changed ownership. And I know Mark Lore and Alex Rodriguez, whatever their company is or whatever, they've been trying to acquire the Timberwolves, and they were waiting on logistical things to happen. And it all just went through, and I guess they got them for like $3 billion. So like, they got the Timberwolves for a fucking steal. A lot of people are saying just flip it, just sell them again right now, because you could probably, you just saw what the Celtics are probably definitely more valuable, but they could sell an NBA team for more. But yeah, so Mark Lore and Alex Rodriguez just finally got ownership of the team. That was kind of a wild situation.
Right. I'm still trying to figure out this 6th man of the year, so I'll give 2 shits about Minnesota, man.
I agree, man.
Who
Kyle
cares?
was looking for a huge response. I'm like, oh my god. No, stop it.
Who cares?
Stop it.
Who cares? It's just the Timberwolves.
I didn't say it. You said
Hey,
it.
hold on. Let me get. Oh gosh, dang it! I don't remember which one it is, but like, who cares?
Who cares? I thought you guys might. All right.
Just kidding, Kyle. I mean, that is a great steal. I wish I had $10 billion just so I could buy the Cowboys, bro. That's the goal.
All right, let's talk about something that I know you will love to talk about. It's Daddy Braun time.
There we
officially.
go, dude.
So me and Sean were talking about it, wanted to get it out there because LeBron's on that crazy streak that he scored double-digit points or whatever in 1,000-something games. The last time he did not was in his 4th season. January 5th, 2007 was the last time he scored under 10 points. But want to talk about really that Braun versus Curry battle we had just last week, dude. That was quite the game. it was a good first quarter, and then the Warriors kind of took control of it after the second, third quarter, and Brandon Podzims, I can't even pronounce that name, but I should get Feisty to pronounce that name.
Hey.
Brandon Podziminski, he was going off, dude. He was, I think, 5 for 6 from three before he hit a half court buzzer beater to go 6 for 7 from three in the first half, and then yeah, we just had another Braun Curry battle at the end, dude. They both, I think, had 30 something points in this game, and that was fresh off of Steph scoring 52 and almost breaking the 3-point record again. So yeah, it was a good battle. But in this game, I could again, I'm gonna go back to it. We talked about it. I'm definitely getting worried about the Lakers. Their depth is
Yeah.
very concerning to me. And watching what the Warriors could do, I guess the Warriors are leading the league in bench points. So, and they're the other hot team. They had a 5-game winning streak as well. So what I saw watching that game, man, the Warriors look really good. And I was gonna say if they played each other, the Lakers and Warriors in the playoffs, I might take the Warriors in that series just because they have a deeper team. But then you have the duo thing. If Luka was off in this game, so I think that was a big part of why the Lakers were struggling. Luka couldn't get it going, but I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, the record, just another LeBron day. Who cares? I could already tell Simon's face as soon as you started talking about it. He's like, who cares? Longevity, who cares? That's all the haters are going to say. So who cares? Good for him. Good for LeBron. Just doing GOAT things. But the Curry versus LeBron thing, man, that is probably an underrated rivalry, which isn't even a rivalry. When
No,
you
they're
It's a
go,
friends, man.
rivalry.
They like each other
they
for
like
Well, I
God's
each
guess
other.
that
sakes.
I guess
They
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like each other. I mean, technically, like I said, it's not a real rivalry, but like on the court when those two play against each other, fireworks, man. Especially when it's the Warriors, and I don't know what idiot let the Warriors get Jimmy buckets, but that was the greatest steal of for a long time, dude. Jimmy buckets just needed to get out of Miami, and now this team has the not caliber player of Durant, but like maybe two levels below
No, yeah,
Durant.
I noticed that. So they played the Nuggets the next night. Curry went off again, did his thing, and then beat the Nuggets. And Podziminski, whatever his fucking name is, uh, he went off again too. So like when I was watching their offense, Butler is kind of that third
Yeah,
option,
yeah,
and that's insane because if you have him just when you need it, because they play such great team ball that Butler's more of an ISO guy. So he fits in. It doesn't look like he cares if he doesn't get the ball. If he doesn't score for a quarter, it doesn't matter. But sometimes that team ball just doesn't work, and you need a guy to go get a bucket. Like the Jazz had a random run with Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson, one of the
oh yeah.
best, just random bucket getters. Like if you need him, he won us playoff games at the buzzer, and that's what Butler's doing right now. And he's averaging 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists since joining the Warriors, shooting 51%. I like, yeah, they look deep, and like you said, we were definitely wrong about it. I don't know what you guys said. I know that I was like, this Butler to the Warriors doesn't really make sense when the trade happened, but it is definitely they've been one of the best teams in the league since the trade. They're very rarely losing games, and they're getting hot at the right time.
Well, it's like the same thing with the whole Luca thing. We looked at that trade and said who got the best deal. Well, obviously the Lakers, right? Like this Minsky guy, the Jazz wanted him. There's a lot of players that even the Heat wanted him, but the Warriors were not training this guy. This is their rookie guy that they were developing, and he was playing really well. Like they took any kind of offers that included him on there off the table. So like they believed in him. They knew that he was going to be this player, and then they knew that they needed this kind of player to come off the bench and do his thing. And now you have Jimmy Butler. The other thing that like people don't always notice about Jimmy Butler is his defense, man. When he wants to play defense, you can put him against
He
the
shut down Braun
yeah.
multiple times in that
That's
game.
literally you could put him against any of those other star players that play that small forward, shooting guard, or whatever, and he will shut them down. Like he is so underrated when it comes to his defensive game against star players. So the Warriors obviously got the big deal out of this, and it's showing, man. They're on a hot streak. They're looking like the team to beat again in the playoffs, which I hate. I was hoping they would have a fallout and Curry'd be like, "I'm done. I'm not playing in this." But still cooking, man. They're still greasing, like, in those what do they say, greasing in the wheels or those
The
tires. I don't know,
uh,
whatever. Anyways, but he's still like doing his thing, and so as much as I hate to say it, I love it. And this versus Curry thing, man, it's gonna be talked about for so long. Even though, like I said, it's not a rivalry, but it is in a way. So f the Warriors.
Yeah, I just think about the West right now, man, and it. Just hear me out, right? Take the Nuggets, right? They got a shot, man. That's going to be a tough out, man. I don't even know how they lose so many games, to be honest with you. With freaking, you got Murray, you got Gordon, and you got who's the other? You got one more really good player on
Jokic.
that team. No,
You didn't
I
mention
don't. No,
Jokic.
he's
Oh,
assumed.
gotcha. I'll
Um,
look.
but and then the other. I
Westbrook.
mean, what? No, there's one more. Who's that one player? He's a $35 million player. I
Oh,
just looked at
Michael
their
Porter
payroll.
Jr. That's who you're
Porter, yeah,
thinking
that's
of.
what I'm
Yep,
saying.
yep.
So I'm like, I'm like, that's going to be a tough out. And then, of course, the Lakers are going to be a playoff. LeBron is no joke, dude. The Lakers are going to be a tough out.
Oh, I
And
love
the
that you said that.
Warriors, what's that?
I love that you said that.
They are. And the Warriors are going to be a tough out. The West is going to be. It's going to be
Electric, dude.
crazy. It's going to be crazy. And the East is just not that.
Every year.
There's two teams in the East. That's it.
Every freaking
There's
year,
two
dude.
teams. There's two teams. So I just, yeah, man, it's going to be great. Those teams are tough outs. And Kyle, I sent you those odds, man. I would bet. My God, if you bet $100 on the Nuggets to win, you win $2,200. That is not a bad bet. You bet $10, you win $220. I'll bet that $10 all day. All day.
Hell yeah.
On
Dude,
the
the
Nuggets,
matchups, we were even talking about it. Right now, the Grizzlies are in the 8th seed, but the Clippers were in the 8th seed. And what if the Thunder played the Clippers? And the Clippers are kind of like hot right now. Like Harden's doing his thing. Kawhi Leonard, if he's healthy, Norman Powell scoring.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't be just an easy walkover. Like all of these matchups are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like the 9 and 10 seed, the Mavericks and the Kings are going to be in the play-in. Nah, we know they're not on that level, but Grizzlies, Clippers, Timberwolves are hot. Warriors are hot. Like you said, it feels like the Nuggets are not. They're on a 3-game losing streak, 4-6 in their last 10.
I don't even understand.
Lakers
that.
are 5-5 in their last 10. But then the Thunder, like this is, I can't wait for like our pick'ems and everything because this is going to be insane. But yeah, then you go to the Eastern Conference, like all the play-in teams are below 500 in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, like the Detroit Pistons, they're a good, like, fun story this year, but we don't really have any confidence that they can beat anybody. The Bucks have been the Bucks since fucking dumbass Doc Rivers has taken over. We all know that. And I think the Knicks and Pacers are good, but they're not on the level of the Cavs and the Celtics.
No.
We know that.
That's
No.
Like the first round of the Western Conference is going to be electric, and the first round of the Eastern Conference, don't even bother like turning your TV on. Like it's not even.
Oh, I can't wait to see the final mix up for the seeds and stuff like that. I can't wait. When
it's
I
all
see
so
that,
close.
my brain is just going to start to go like this, just thinking about what can happen, because when we see
the 3 seed is 1.5 games ahead of the 8th seed in the West right now. That's all those teams are right there.
what I'm
That's
saying.
crazy.
It's going to be unpredictable. You're not going to really. You're not going to know, like, your brain's not going to be able to start like putting pieces together of what you think's going to happen until maybe the last night of the season.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to
Seriously.
start working it in your head,
Well, this was last year too, right? Like we talked about this last year where the Thunder and the Nuggets were like back and forth, back and forth. It was going to be the first seed, and it came to that last game where the Thunder ended up getting that first seed. But like realistically, man, this is the same thing every year for the West, and it's the same thing for the East. It's always one or two teams. And you know what's funny to me is every year you look at the East, the first seed always ends up choking anyway. So like the Celtics are the only team to realistically beat in that. Like I would love to see a this is the dream scenario, Cavs versus Thunder. Like that's a dream scenario that like you would still get a lot of eyes because two new teams and nobody is really, thinking that they can make it all the way through. I mean, yeah, Vegas is saying the Thunder can, but the Celtics, there's just no way you're beating the Celtics, man. And there's just no way you're beating all these veteran guys on the West to make it all the way through. So, yeah, I'm excited for this next month for the playoffs.
I'm telling you, man, Celtics are coming out of the East. I'm just telling you, they're
No
coming
way
out of the
anybody else
East.
can. Yeah,
I don't like how the Cavs have kind of. I don't like how they're flat right now. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
They took their foot off the gas, like you were saying with the Thunder.
Certainly
They
did.
they've been going, and the Cavs have taken their foot off the gas. Which like, are they? Are you trying to save up for the playoffs? Like that was the art. Everybody said that about the Warriors. Oh, they tried too hard, 73-9, like they weren't one game away from winning the chip and having a crazy season. But
Yeah.
you have
Well,
that
they blew
argument.
it. I mean, they blew it.
They did. Yeah, man. And the Celtics, speaking of them, they just broke the record. I know we're shooting more and more threes, but they just broke the record for most three
Yeah, it
point
was
field goals
yesterday.
made in a single season, beat the 22-23 Warriors. And with, like I said, 5-6 games left, dude. Yeah, it's I think it's going to be a battle. I think, yeah, you can book Cavs and Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then, but the West is just
can't book
it's the
anybody.
So,
wild. It
so
literally is
who
the
would?
wild, wild west.
I'm not looking at it right now. I don't know if you're looking at it right now, Kyle or Fiz, if you're looking at it. But like, if it were to end today, what would the matchups be?
All right, I got him. Yeah. So
You got it. I'm just curious.
okay. The play in changes everything. You know what I
In the
mean? But
West,
like I
in the
said,
West, in the West, yeah,
in the
in the
West,
West.
1 seed Thunder versus the 8 seed Grizzlies, who just fired their coach, and I think they're kind of on a downtrend. So I think if you're the Thunder, you want to play the Grizzlies right now. Which little segue, I wanted to talk about this. Make sure we get it in. You see the John Morant shit that he's
That dude
what
cannot
the
stay out of trouble,
what
bro.
the
He is so
fuck, dude?
stupid.
Yeah,
he
he done.
he made a gun gesture, and they were like, oh, they didn't even penalize him. They're like, all right, just hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Which I heard this on McAfee, and it's a fair argument. Everybody in the NBA does a gun gesture when shoot or shoot, shoot or shoot. Right. Problem is, you flashed your gun on IG Live multiple times. Yeah. So you're in a little different circumstance. You're in that's just what it is. He can't ever beat that. You know what I mean? That's going to follow him for the rest of his life. Next game, very next game, first quarter, gun sign again. And he only got fined $75,000 for that, which definitely seems light. But what is he doing, man? We need John Morant on the court. John Morant is electric. Playing basketball, he's amazing. What the fuck is he doing, dude?
Good question. Let me go ask him and his freaking marketing team and his everything team because the guy is young, right? Like he's still like 24, 25 years old like us. But John Morant, you gotta stay out of the trouble, man. You have such a bright future. You have such a great career ahead of you. But if you are getting yourself into stuff like this so early in your career, it's gonna stick with you, man. It's gonna you're gonna be known as that guy that couldn't stay out of the spotlight, like Ron Artest. I don't know if you guys remember him. My guy was in trouble every other year, every other month. So I I feel that he just needs to get some kind of like, and it kind of sucks, but like some kind of coaching, man. Like, and
Well,
just
he's been through that. Do you not you remember? Like
nah,
he had that program or something that he went through the first or second time that he did it. I mean,
somebody in his inner circle needs to sit him down and say, "Yo, if you keep doing stuff like this, man, you're gonna end up losing a lot of money. These young kids are looking up to you. You're a great freakish athlete. You're a great role model, But some of the stuff that you're doing, man, it's just not gonna go well with a lot of people. So I don't know, man. I just think that somebody needs to go and sit him down, and the NBA is gonna continue to watch him. It's not that he's being targeted, but like when you do stupid stuff, obviously all eyes are on you now, right? So
Yeah.
look at John Morant. I love him too. I really do. I think he's one of my favorite players in the league. But
Would you
loved
take a
him.
bullet for him?
Nah, nah.
You might have
He
to.
would be the one shooting me up. I don't know if I could.
Whether you like it or not, he's pulling up on you. You know he's got it on him.
He would be the one shooting me up, dog.
He's the one you're saving Braun from.
Yeah, bro. Him or Brooks, bro.
You wouldn't take a bullet for him. You'd take a bullet from him.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, man.
All right, but unless Simon, you got any thoughts on that? You want to get back to the matchups?
I mean, he just has it. I mean, I don't think it makes him a bad person. I just think he just has impulse control issues. I'm serious, man. He just doesn't think before he does things. And a lot of people have, impulse control issues. I'm a school teacher. I deal with it every day.
Yeah. Well, he hit the game winner that same night too.
Yeah.
He's fucking game winner.
Yeah, I mean, he can do what he wants. He might lose some money, but he needs to learn how to control his impulses. Sometimes it does come with age, and sometimes it comes through. I guess the only other thing is therapy or counseling or just to learn how to think before you do things. But yeah, I mean, NBA don't like that stuff, man.
No, and yeah, it's just like I said, it's just gonna follow him for the rest of his career. You know what I mean? And so it's the only reason. Jaw's at a different standard. If anybody else makes a finger gun gesture, the NBA won't bat an eye. But because he's flashed the
guns I mean, flashing real guns live, it's just
right.
It's just
bad getting back to the matchups. So 2 seed Houston Rockets right now versus 7 seed Clippers. Might be a fun matchup.
That's unbelievable. That's an unbelievable matchup.
And they're tied.
I would not want to bet that series. I would not want to bet that series. I mean, that's the 2 versus the 7. That's crazy.
And it only gets crazier.
Yeah, 3 versus 6. Lakers versus the Timberwolves.
Bro, that's crazy.
And then 4-5 Nuggets and Warriors. And like you said, Simon, we're not going to know until the clock strikes 0 or 12 or whatever and on the last day of the NBA season. Because you got a game and a half difference between 3 and 8 right now. Like anything could happen, especially if these teams are like going to play each other. You know what I mean? Like
you got to race to that 2 or 3 seed, man, because like the Nuggets what are the seeds is that 3 versus 4?
Yeah,
Nuggets is 4-5. Nuggets is
4-5. You better race to that 2 or 3 seed. You don't
want the Thunder in the second round.
No.
You definitely want to play the Rockets in the second round versus the Thunder, right?
Yeah, or the Wolves.
That was the problem with the Jazz. Like the Jazz were always like consistently a 4-5 seed. And so then we, if we did win, then we had to play like it was during the Warriors run. So as soon as we won our first round, boom, Warriors sweep. Like we had no chance. And that's kind of the Thunder thing. You definitely don't want to be there. But if the Nuggets or Warriors are in that 4-5 seed, I have some confidence against either of those teams against the Thunder. Not like you said, I wouldn't bet on them, but they could definitely beat them.
Yeah.
Bro, so let me just hear this out. So let's say, who are the 2 and the 7?
2 and 7 is Rockets and Clippers right now.
Wow, being the 1 seed is really good, man, because they should easily get out of both those rounds. And that's just my opinion. Now, I don't think they have to worry until the next one.
What about this, though? And I would still take the Thunder, but I think I have more confidence in the Clippers and the Grizzlies. But let's just say it shakes out that the Clippers are the 8 seed. What about Clippers versus Thunder?
That might be a tough one, dude.
That's definitely not who you want to play in the first round.
No, that might.
Bro, how?
Kawhi's
Go ahead.
healthy.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, if Kawhi's healthy, that might be a tough one. Like honestly, like that.
He's
Clippers
another
team,
playoff performer.
How far are the
gonna be
Lakers
great.
out of the 7th seed?
Game and a half.
What if the Lakers end up being the 7th seed? They win that first round against Houston, and now they're playing. Now LeBron is playing the Thunder.
I knew what you were doing there. Hey, you were trying to set that all up, weren't you? Nah, just kidding.
Well, that could happen real early,
That's realistic,
man.
though. Yeah.
Well, no, I think if they were 2-7, then they wouldn't. And if they won 2, they wouldn't meet until the Western Conference Finals.
No, I thought the 7th seed doesn't the 7th seed go on to play the?
Because they get the highest.
Yeah, they would.
Well, usually, like, because one
better,
seed will play. I think one seed, because you're assuming that the 2 seed will win that series most of the time, 2 versus 7, and the 1 seed normally plays
that makes
4 or
sense.
5.
Yeah, what am I doing?
Yeah. So 7,
Yeah, of course.
if they did play the Rockets and they beat them, then I think they would play the 3-6 winner, whoever that was.
Which actually could be the Lakers.
It could be fucking anybody at this point, right? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. I'm pumped. Hey, man, I got to bounce, guys. I got a Phillies game to go to, man.
Hey, have fun. That was awesome, man. What a fucking episode. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us on another episode of your favorite Couch Potatoes. Make sure to check out all the clips on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram, and then check out full episodes on YouTube and Spotify. Till next time, we'll catch you on the couch. See ya.